Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with Bretonnia, gonna be taking on the proud Dawi. So let's get to the army compositions. I am fighting Professor Pone, the legend himself, so we're definitely in for a good time. And being that we're going Bretonnia against the Dwarves, we've got hippos, folks. So we've got King Lewin, of course, up on his special hippo beaky. He's got the ladies champion. He's also got foe seeker, stand your ground, lion shield, and of course the sword of Corone. We've also got one unit of royal hippogryph knights. Super cool unit. One of the few units that Creative Assembly has created themselves. And boy, are they cool looking. It's a shame they aren't a bit better. They're decent. Especially against the dwarves. I like them in this matchup quite a bit. But yeah, we'll see how they do here. We've got some questing knights, of course. One of them is the Companions of Quenelle over on the right flank, and the main line is just a whole bunch of peasants. We've got men-at-arms, no shields, foot squires, and peasant mobs up front. And then way in the back here, we've got some mounted yeoman archers. So for Pone's Dawi, he's going to be led by a Rune Lord. Super solid pick against Bretonnia to have that map-wide magic resistance, just in case they bring Grail tier units. You'll be getting that extra mitigation against them, which is always nice. Front line of Dwarf Warriors with some Longbeards in the center. A single solitary Troll Hammer Torpedo, which I like quite a bit in this matchup. They can wreck heavy cav. The limited range is a bit of an issue, though. The single unit of Thunderers as well. He's got 2 Rune Smiths, so we're going to be facing lots and lots of runes. A couple more Dwarf Warriors, and of course 2 Slayers defending the back line. One of them is the ever-present Dragonbacks. So let's get the battle rolling. And right off the bat, the Dawi cannon that I failed to mention in the center is going to be popping off shots, and cannons are painful for cavalry. For those of you who don't know, I'm sure 99% of you know already, but we're going to go ahead and just ride along here with these questing knights, and you guys can watch what happens when they get hit by a cannonball. At least I think it's this unit that gets hit by the cannonball. But yeah, as they're riding along, you can see Lewin's riding through the air majestically. We've got the hippos advancing, and oh man, look at that. Look at that. That's just brutal. That's like 6 or 7 knights right there in one shot. Yeah. Cannons hurt, folks. So the reason why I'm bringing out the whole house at the same time is to try and mitigate. Pone's only got 1 cannon, so he can only shoot 1 thing at a time, and as painful as it is to have this unit of questing knights get deleted, he's not shooting Lewin, he's not shooting the hippos, and he's not shooting the other questing knights, so it's fine. Lewin's going to go ahead and pop the lion shield so that he can tank all this missile fire and just charge straight in. Full Chad, straight into the middle of the Dawi ranks here, do a ton of damage. The Hippogryphs were going to charge in to follow up, but I decided to switch targets at the last second and go after these Thunderers here in the center as well. You can see in the back line, mounted yeomen getting tied up by Slayers, which is not great, but the peasants are rushing forward. We've got the questing knights in a position to start responding as well. And yeah, since Pone's left this nice gap right in the center, the peasants are just going to mosey on by. Oh, somebody grabbed a beard hair. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Oh, he lived. That's kind of disappointing. Anyway, the peasant mob's going to be pushing through to where Lewin's at. Lewin, I had cast an overcast regrowth, so if we go ahead and take a look here, Lewin's up to like 64% physical resistance, which is just ridiculous. So he's going to take no damage whatsoever here, and the peasants should be able to come in and support there. Meanwhile, questing knights pushing around various pockets, getting some nice rear and side charges as much as possible. This one that took the cannonballs, they're all kinds of angry and just brimming with chivalry, so they're going to get in here and start to cut through the Longbeards. In general, the infantry fight's definitely going to favor the Dawi, but the foot squires will do okay here. And then the hippogriffs are just being used to pull back up into the air and then go after anything that's important and threatening. Most of that is going to be the missile units here, like these Iron Drakes and the Thunderers are both pretty big risk. You can see currently I'm chasing this cannon crew, but here comes the sandwich. 2 units of questing knights just going to come in and wreck on these Thunderers here. The Slayers are trying to respond, but there's just so many units that the Slayers have to deal with, and that's, again, the whole concept of bringing the whole house at the same time. You want to bring everything in a concerted effort, and also try and spread them out a little bit. You can see I've got Lewin here, Knights here, the Hippogryphs over here. We've got mounted yeoman archers in the back, going to be chasing down that cannon crew. So I'm using all of my large units at the same time, but I'm spreading them out to different pockets of the battlefield, so the Slayers can only be in so many places at the same time. The Dragonbacks have been solely dedicated to taking down Lewin, so they haven't been applying their speed debuff to any of the cavalry that have been charging around this backline here, which is definitely beneficial for me. If we're going to have any chance of winning this battle, we've got to take out the Dawi ranged units, so that then my expensive, important knights here can get the damage done. And you can see these Hippogryph knights are getting some damage done. Still all 6 unit models online, so they're still fighting at more or less full strength. And now the Questing Knight Death Blob is starting to form so that we can get some nice efficient healing. Got an Earth Blob hitting all these Questing Knights here. Companions of Cornell, of course, in particular, are still with most of their unit models left. We'll be getting some really good value there. Lewin has taken quite a bit of damage, though, from those Dragonbacks at the end of the day, and he's getting close to his healing cap. Not quite there yet, but Hippogryph Knights still all unit models online, going to be coming back to finish the job on these Thunderers here. If we kind of take an overarching look, you can see Knights charging through the far side, Lewin still running around going after the Rune Lord. Rune Lord's putting the damsel in distress. She is very clearly distressed here, and so Lewin's going to come in and save the day. The damsel's not too happy, so she's going to take a few sword swipes there as well, but those Trollhammer torpedoes are online, and they're doing a ton of damage, and Lewin's more or less locked down, so he's getting hit by the Dragonback effect, which is slowing him down, and then Pone's also going to put Rune of Wrath and Ruin on him, so he's down to only 17 speed, which means I'm not going to be able to pull away. The Hippogryph Knights come to silence the Trollhammer torpedoes, just try and save Lewin. But it's pretty desperate at this point. Lewin's not too happy about the situation. That being said, the balance of power is in my favor. Most of the Dawi infantry, you can see, is starting to crumble. There's only a handful of, like, Dwarf Warriors. We've got the Dragonback Slayers, still relatively healthy. Some other Slayers here, a couple of Runesmiths as well. But the Rune Lord himself has taken a ton of damage from Lewin, and is very uncomfortable. And now that we've dealt with most of the Dawi infantry, the Foot Squires and the other peasants can come in to deal with the Dragonbacks. And I'm also going to be able to start cycle charging them with the companions and the other questing knights here. Royal Hippogryph Knights still all 6 unit models and managed to rack up 2 XP chevrons with 71 kills against the Dawi, which is quite impressive, all things considered. I really like the Royal Hippogryphs in this matchup. I think it's a really nice tool to be able to bring against the Dawi. But yeah, we're just going to bring everything into the center pocket to try and finish off these Dragonbacks. They're the main threat left on the battlefield. The Runesmiths are pretty threatening as well, but not so much as the Dragonbacks. But yeah, you can see the Alpha Strike coming in. Again, we're pulling all of our cav to one pocket so that we can get a really nice, efficient Earth Blood that hits all of our units. All 6 unit models of Hippogryphs still online, so they're all going to be getting that nice healing. Lewin himself also pretty tattered. One thing to note about Lewin's regeneration, if we go ahead and look at the this Ladies Champion, you can see it gets disabled if his leadership is broken at any point. So if Lewin routs at any point in the battle, he'll stop regenerating. Just so that you guys are aware, that's why I'm using like regrowth and stuff on him now, because that's the only way for me to be able to heal him. So yeah. Another Rune of Wrath and Ruin, just regular Rune of Wrath and Ruin, going down on those Hippogryph Knights, but still, again, all 6 unit models online, still fighting very strong, and this is going to be the last stand of the Dawi here. They've got a few Dwarf Warriors holding out. It's mostly just the Slayers at this point. The Rune Lord is still online, but Lewin's going to set his sights over here soon. And the Rune Lord's also surrounded by Foot Squires, which is going to be a little bit uncomfortable. He's getting pretty low on HP. Granted, I mean, he's gonna lay the hammer down on some of these peasants here. So yeah. The Dragonbacks, though, starting to get worn down. Of course, they don't have the best defensive stats, especially with the Sword of Corona up. They're down to only 17 melee defense, but once Lewin pulls away, of course, that effect will diminish there. But Lewin coming back around, setting his sights on the Rune Lord, I believe. Looks like he's got the Massive Rune of Oath and Steel up to 180 armor. But no, actually, we're going to be going after this Runesmith here, it looks like. And yeah, Bretonnian Cav definitely going to be carrying the day here. You can see the last of the Dragonbacks just getting dragged down by peasants and other units there. So brutal stuff. Well played, Professor Pone. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. It's, you know, an interesting matchup. I used to feel that this matchup was very heavily in favor of the Dwarves, and maybe it still is, but I do feel that Bretonnia has some tools with merit here. Certainly, if you can keep all 6 unit models of the Royal Hippogryph Knights alive, they will get the work done. You can see 100 kills all said and done, 2 XP chevrons. They just did an absolutely fantastic job. The mounted yeoman archers also proved to be a very cost-effective pick. They were able to harass, shoot up some slayers a bit, and also chase routing units, which was very, very important. Those 2 XP chevrons, though, were gained were given before the battle, so they didn't actually gain any. But yeah, 128 on the Companions of Cornell, with quite a few unit models left at the end of the day as well. There are also MVPs here. The fire resistance means that if, let's say, they take a bunch of blasting charges to the face, it won't do that much. And just in general, very strong unit here. Peasants did their duty of dying in droves. Only the foot squires really performed, which, I mean, I guess you would kind of expect them to, but 60 and 68, pretty cost effective. For Professor Pone, Longbeards, some of them racking up quite a few kills against peasant infantry, and of course the Slayers you would expect to get some good work done. And 137, 136, these guys got an XP chevron. Of course, I'm sure the Dragonbacks could if they, or would if they could, but of course they can't. Unfortunately, the ranged units getting shut down pretty hard here. The Thunderers did get a little bit of damage done to some of the Knights and stuff, but no kills at the end of the day. Iron Drakes got a ton of damage done on Lewin, and were just about able to finish him off. If they had been able to do so, it probably would have shifted the balance of power. It's hard to say, but the cannon got some really good initial shots, but then just got shut down super hard, so that ended up being a little bit rough for the Dawi there. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this battle in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.